Welcome students to the students of standard 8. Welcome back to our class. We are studying about ruling the countryside history chapter 3. In the previous class we have studied about the agrarian policy of East India Company, that is the policy of land reforms. British East India Company took different steps to improve the land so that they can generate the revenue and they get maximum profit. So that was their main purpose, to make reforms in the field of agriculture. Their main purpose was to collect the revenue, and that's why in this chapter we are studying about the different system of revenue collection. So the first system that we have studied yesterday about the Ijaradari system. In Ijaradari system we have seen about the highest bidders were selected, and they were given a particular land from where they used to collect the revenue and give it to the East India Company. That revenue collection system was called Ijaradari system or the bid system. Okay, that revenue collection system continued for few years, and then East India Company started the new revenue collection system known as the permanent settlement system. Students, yesterday I have told you about that because the situation in West Bengal was very worse when East India Company got the Diwani rights. East India Company, they became the Diwan of West Bengal. They started collecting revenue from the people, putting a high amount of revenue on the farmers, which was a very big burden for the people of Bengal. At the same time, East India Company did not take any measure to improve the agriculture. The second thing was that a big famine hit East India Company in the 70s, and as a result the most of the people from Bengal, they migrated to other parts of the country. They left Bengal. Thousands of people died in the famine, and the condition was very worse. So when East India Company saw that the people of Bengal are leaving the Bengal and moving to other parts of the country, to stop that migration, to stop the people and make the people settle in their own place so that they can continue the agriculture and pay the revenue to East India Company. That was the main purpose, and therefore they started taking different steps. So the first step was permanent settlement system. Okay, introduction of permanent settlement system by Lord Cornwallis. Lord Cornwallis, the governor of East India Company, introduced the permanent settlement system in 1793. Students, that is the system of revenue collection. This system was introduced in Bengal. It is only for the people of Bengal this the permanent settlement system was introduced. Now Lord Cornwallis, who was the Governor General of East India Company from 1786 to 1793, he introduced this permanent settlement system. In Bengal, the local Rajas and Talukdars, those who were called Jamindar, under this system, when East India Company saw that the people of Bengal, they are leaving Bengal and going to different parts of the country because the situation in Bengal is very worse. So, to satisfy the local Rajas and Talukdars of Bengal, in different places of Bengal there were different small Rajas and Talukdars. They were called as now Jamindars. They were now called as the Jamindar. So East India Company, they wanted to satisfy these local Rajas and Talukdars and made them the Jamindars. Means they were made actual owner of the land. The land was taken from the farmers and given to these local Rajas and Talukdars. So they were made the actual owner of the land. They were now called as Jamindars. Now these Jamindars, they became the actual owner of the land. Okay, now the farmers were not the actual owner of the land, they were only the cultivators of the land. these farmers or peasants, they were the only cultivators. They grew the crops and they gave the crops to the jamindars. In return, these cultivators or farmers got their own share, a little share for themselves, and rest all the crops were given to the jamindars, and jamindars, they kept their own shares and then gave the revenue to the East India Company. Now this revenue collection system was called permanent settlement. Therefore a permanent rate of revenue was fixed. A permanent fix of a rate of revenue, a permanent amount was fixed, and which was not to be revised. A fixed amount was there for the farmers to pay the revenue. So every year they have to pay a permanent rate of revenue, and jamindars, they used to collect this revenue from the peasants, from the farmers, and they paid this revenue to the East India Company. Remember, in this East India Company thought that these jamindars will be increased, encouraged. To encourage the jamindars, this East India Company, they started this revenue system of collection, thinking that jamindars will be encouraged by this, because they only have to pay a fixed amount of rate every year to East India Company, and rest of the benefits will go to the jamindar. As a result, is the jamindars will take care of the lands, they will improve the lands, they will invest in the improvement of the land. So that was the purpose of the East India Company. But then there were a lot of drawbacks. This system also failed because there were many drawbacks, there were many negatives. Rate of revenue was too high. This rate of revenue was too high for the peasants, because I told you that now the farmers were only the cultivators. They lost their the lands, and the lands went to the jamindars. Jamindars became the actual owner of the land. So the farmers, they were the only cultivators. They used to cultivate the land for the jamindars, and only they got a small amount of crops, their share, and rest of all the crops, the production went to the jamindars, and jamindars only paid a fixed amount of rate to the revenue, and rest all benefits went to the jamindar. So here jamindars were benefited, but then there were some drawbacks. The rate was so heavy, and it was difficult for the many jamindars also, because the rate was too heavy. Many jamindars, they found it difficult to pay the revenue, so many jamindars failed to pay the revenue. Many of the jamindars also failed to pay the revenue. Next, many jamindars lost jamindari rights, and in this case many jamindars, when they failed to pay the revenue, East India Company took this right from them, okay, took the jamindari from them, and they lost the jamindari. Okay, in this many jamindars, they became angry with the East India Company. Next, jamindars were not interested in investing and development of the land. Okay, the next problem was that many jamindars, though they got the benefits, but they were not willing, they were not interested to invest in the land improvement. Whatever the benefits they got, East India Company thought that they will only pay a fixed amount of rate every year, and that rate will not change, that will not increase and not decrease also. A fixed amount they have to pay every year to the East India Company. So East India Company thought that rest whatever the benefits the jamindars are getting, they will invest those benefits, they will invest those money for the improvement of the lands. So that was the thinking of the East India Company. But what we see, that many of the jamindar, they did not invest any money for the improvement of the land. As a result, the crops decrease, the farmers faced the most problem, because they had to pay the rent. They had to pay the rent to the zamindars, and they used to cultivate. So with that they were surviving. And most, when there was no improvement in the agriculture, many farmers, they lost their lands, because they could not repay the rent which they had to take from the zamindar. So in this case, many, the farmers, they lost the land permanently, and they became the landless, and they lost their this cultivation also. So that were the drawbacks of the zamindari system. That also failed after few years, and then the Mahalwadi system started. The East India Company started the Mahalwadi system. That was the second system of revenue collection which was introduced in northern part of India. In north part of India, this Mahalwadi system was started by East India Company. That this system was developed by Lord Holt Mackenzie in the year 1822. Introduced in the northern part of India, we have seen that the permanent settlement was introduced in Bengal, whereas this Mahalwadi system was introduced in the northern part of India. In this Mahalwadi system, fields were measured. In this, the fields of the farmers were measured. So the official of the East India Company, they were sent to the fields, and each fields were measured according to its fertility, according to its size. So some fields were very fertile, some were less fertile, some were big, some were small. So according to the measurement of the land, the revenue was fixed. Revenue was revised periodically. Okay, in this we see the revenue of whole village were collected. Here we see that the revenue of each and every farmers had to pay the rent to the villagers or zamindar. Zamindars paid the revenue to the East India Company. Zamindars collected the revenue from the farmers, and zamindars paid to the East India Company. But here we see the revenue was collected from whole village, which was called as the mahal. A village was called as the mahal. So each and every the revenue from the village was collected together. So here not individual farmers paid the revenue, but here all the village together collected the revenue in one place, and a huge amount was given to the East India Company. Who collected the revenue here? So the village headman, the head of the village, the mukhyas, they collected the revenue from all the villages together and paid it to East India Company, and this village was called as the mahal. So this was the Mahalwadi system. This was totally different from the permanent settlement system. In permanent settlement system, the revenue was fixed. Only one amount was paid every year, and that was not revised, not increased, not decreased. But here we see revenue was revised, means every year it was changed. It was, sometimes it was increased, it was decreased, and revenue was different for different lands. For the big lands, revenue was more. For the small lands, revenue was less. For the more fertile lands, the revenue was more, and the less fertile land, the revenue was less. So in this way, the revenue was different for different fields, and revenue was changed every year. It was revised. So these are the two types of revenue collection which was introduced in Bengal and north part of India. Student, I hope you understand these are the different system of revenue collection by the East India Company. So we see the East India Company is taking different steps, different methods to collect the revenue, so to get the maximum income, so that they can run their industries, maintain their huge soldiers, they can buy the silk and cotton. So that was the main purpose for what this East India Company was introduced, different types of this revenue collection system to get the maximum the profit. In this, students, their main purpose was to get the benefits, and not to improve the agriculture, and not to improve the condition of the farmers. In every case we see the farmers were tortured. the farmers, most of the farmers, they could not pay the revenue, they could not pay the debts which they used to take from the zamindars to do the cultivation. So in this way we see that they lost their lands and they became landless, and every time we see the amount of revenue was too high for the farmers, and as a result they were facing a lot of problem. So these are the different system. First we have seen the permanent settlement, second Mahalwari system, next we will see about the Riyatwadi system of revenue collection. So that's for all for today, and that's thank you.